Now let's talk about some starting pitchers. Let's say the top 3 this free agency that the Yankees should go after. And if we do, we'll have one of the best rotations out there, or at least a couple of these guys, or maybe just even one. That's how impactful just one of these pitchers are, and we could use the pitching. And with the rest of our rotation, we'll figure out what to do with them, trade them, use them. I would say the only names that can stay for now are Cole, obviously, Nasty Nestor, obviously, and Severino. The other 2 spots I say is up for grabs. Even Severino's kind of iffy, even though he gives you the most competitive advantage when he goes out there and he's hungry and he's ready to play. I love that about Severino, so that's why I'll keep him as 3. But if we get 2 or 1 or maybe even all 3 of these pitchers, it would be amazing. And let's talk about it. Number 3, I would say, is Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon, as I've been saying, if you've been following me, is essential. He's a solid, real pitcher. And yes, even though he kind of did suck in that first game versus the Houston Astros in his first ever postseason experience, he only went like 2 innings, and he did pretty bad. I still say he's a solid pitcher that we could use going forward. He went 14-8 with a 2.88 ERA. That being that he's only 29 years old, he's a solid option for the rotation. He will cost you. He's going to cost you maybe around $22+ million. Is it worth it? I believe so. Carlos Rodon would be a great addition to this rotation and would offer a bunch of value, especially going into the postseason, because he's going to get it. He's going to get there, and I'm not worried so much about his little record in the postseason. Number 2 would be Jacob deGrom. Yes, he's the New York Met, the guy that's been regarded as the best pitcher in baseball, in the last few years. But lately, he's been injured, especially the last 2 seasons. I would say he's been injury prone. And why would I add him to this list is because he still can be impactful. At age 34, he had a 5-4 record with a 3.08 ERA. In the postseason, he did great. He won the only game for the Mets. And in general, he has a 2.9 ERA with a 4-1 record in all of his postseason career. I would say he was very clutch for the Mets, as that was the only game that the Mets won in the wild card series. And we need someone like that. Even let's say he is injury prone throughout the regular season, where this past season he had only 11 games played. The previous season he had, I think, 15 games played. And so if we just have him healthy enough for the postseason, I think that could be a real threat. And why not get someone like that? Yes, it's going to cost you money. And yes, you're going to be using him. Ideally, you'll use him the whole season. That'll be in a perfect world. But based on the last few seasons, he's been breaking down, but we could use him for the playoffs or coming out of the bullpen. Why not? But I would say ideally use him for the postseason. Use him towards the end of the season when you really need it. Last year, he did make $33 million, and he is going to be asking for a lot. I don't know how much he's going to be asking for because of his track record of being injured, and most teams are going to be bringing that up and saying, hey, look, you've been injured, dude. Like, you got to take less or show us in 1 year why we should give you a longer contract. I mean, he is 34 years old, so it's not like he's going to get a 6-7 year contract. I mean, maybe, could be if you got a crazy team. But I think he's going to really have to prove himself in a 1 year, 2 year contract, kind of like a Carlos Rodon did. He's definitely going to have to prove himself like Carlos did with a 1 year contract, something like that, in order to show that he is healthy and he can perform if you give him a longer contract. And so we could get away with a decent steal. I don't know if the Mets are going to be, trying. I mean, maybe Cohen will want to keep him because he's a fan favorite, maybe. But I wouldn't go anywhere past, $33 million, really, because he didn't really show his value the past season. So if we can get him for a good deal, then yes, why not get a Jacob deGrom? But I would choose a Carlos Rodon over a Jacob deGrom. It's just, why not get a deGrom? Stick it to the Mets. And to top it off, Verlander. Justin Verlander, yes, you've heard of that name because he plays for the Houston Astros. He played for the Detroit Tigers. The Yankees could have got him, but Cashman fumbled the bag, and that's a whole different story. But anyways, Justin Verlander, Cy Young, basically, of this past season, and he did a great job within the season after coming back after surgery. At the prime age of 39, he had an 18-4 record with a 1.75 ERA. The guy can pitch, even though he's up there in his age for baseball, but he still can pitch. And he's planning on pitching until he's 45, he says. Now, will he move away from the Houston Astros? I don't know. I think he's really set on staying with the Houston Astros, but if he is looking to move away from the Astros and see other options, I feel like the Yankees could swoop on in and make a decent offer to get him so that we take one, we disarm the Houston Astros from basically their ace, and we have that ace on our team along with Garrett Cole and Nestor Cortez. His postseason numbers are decent. You got a 15-11 postseason numbers. Really, his struggle comes when he's in the World Series. But besides that, his postseason numbers are decent, and he has tons of experience. And he has a 3.69 ERA in the postseason. So he's solid. Definitely solid in postseason. I would say he excels more in the regular season, and the postseason gets kind of, 50-50. But I would rather have a Justin Verlander up in the postseason compared to most pitchers out there. So why not have an experienced veteran pitcher go out there and pitch for you when it comes to the postseason? And on top of that, I would say it's sticking it to the Astros, being like, hey, we got this guy because we have the money to do it. Why not? Get it, disarm the Astros, because at the end of the day, the Yankees are just going to have to pass the Astros at the end of the day. And so why not take away one of their big guys and bring them on over? Why not? We need another solid guy in that rotation, especially someone that we can count on in the playoffs. Another Garrett Cole, let's say. Someone that we can count on in the playoffs that will go out there and fight. Another Nestor Cortez, giving it his all till the end. That's what we need. And I feel like adding one of these pitchers, which I feel like realistically could be a Carlos Rodon. I mean, that could be someone that we can really, really get. But imagine Verlander, deGrom, Rodon, World Series with Cole, Nasty Nestor. I mean, that's like MLB The Show, obviously, like starting rotation. But imagine at least one of those guys. Let's say Verlander to really stick it to the Astros. We have Cole, Verlander, Nestor Cortez as our three-man rotation. Imagine, and Severino as a fourth guy if we need him. Now we're talking about a World Series run.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.